is Mason, so
Who's Miss? Okay. I'm a music producer. I can define myself a little bit like that. I try not to define myself precisely, but to help to meet me a little bit. I love music since I was a child. So in this stage of my life, I'm giving birth to lots of songs and lots of music that I've been composing and producing. And I'm playing ecstatic dances. It's a beautiful place where precisely your music as a frequency meets with healing and your music starts serving others. So that's why I love to play static dances and play my music with a beautiful set, a beautiful journey that is complementing this container for healing.
who is Jem and how did you get in touch with him to get
Mm.
together to create this event at Bruno yesterday?
Jem and me, we are new friends basically. He's living here in Istanbul. I'm living in Izmir right now. So it came the idea of getting together to make like a network of static dance places. We're collaborating with Pina Baran, another friend of mine that I love so much. And that's the way we met. We are like new friends. This is the first time I'm with him and co-create with him really closely. We had intentions before, didn't happen. And now that we did it was just amazing. And he's really beautiful person. And I love what Jem is doing in terms of he's preparing himself a lot. And static dance is not its only experience. He's got lots of experience on Tantra and he's coaching other people. He's doing a really beautiful work and really similar to what I sometimes desire to do for myself. The desire is there, but I stay to music, you know. I always choose music again and again. He's an amazing person. So yeah, I'm really glad to meet him and to co-create with him. I think that's why I admire him so much. He's that masculine energy that, okay, I can do everything. Yeah. I have a joke with Simai precisely that we're going to write on our Instagram like facilitator of everything, you know? Facilitator of everything, yeah. We can, because we can be everything. I always say that we can be everything. For myself, I always choose to go back because, yeah, I just want to be, it's devotion. For me, music is devotion. Because even I have the preparation for coaching, I can do sound design, I can make music for films. I have agencies, you know, advertising agencies, blah, 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 blah. But I choose again, just music, inspiration, and yeah, just putting my heart there.
And can you tell me a little bit about how you started the ceremony yesterday? Maybe a little bit of the words that you used to introduce and get people to connect with the
Yeah.
intention, or what the intention in the retreat was.
Mhm.
You share there.
Yeah, precisely. There's a gift that we are bringing from Mexico, specifically from my Mayan heritage to Turkey. And this is about the Mayan cosmology, the Mayan knowledge, the Mayan wisdom, the Nahual. So it was important for me to talk with them about the energy of the day, where we have a Nahual and we have a specific energy, and we should kind of guide the ceremony with that energy. And it was really beautiful. So I introduced to them a little bit about this Mayan wisdom. I want to even make even more and more the presence of the Mayan wisdom in all my work, not only my music, but in the ceremony itself. Not only with cacao. There's much more than cacao. Cacao is only like 1% of Mayan wisdom. I want to bring more and more to ceremonies, events, my music, and everything that I do.
So, what was the purpose of yesterday's ecstatic dance?
Yeah, precisely. Yesterday was the day of the family, of the community, the oneness, the communion. So they were really surprised. And the spirit animal was armadillo, precisely. And one guy said like, "Oh my God, I'm so surprised that I was about to come with my T-shirt where there's like an armadillo." It was really surprising how that day was for precisely gathering together and feeling that unity. And I told them like, let's set this intention in our ceremony of praying for the other so the other can fulfill his her destiny. and it was really moving to bring this wisdom.
And how would you define ecstatic dance? What is ecstatic dance for you?
Static dance. I experienced static dance before as a dancer. So basically, when I prepare an static dance, I feel a lot, and I imagine others feeling what I feel. And when I prepare my set, it's always what I want to dance and what part of my body wants to release something. So I think in terms of releasing, allowing the body to start with small movements and then start listening those rhythmic sounds pushing you into moving more and more, not precisely where you go crazy like static. People think that screaming and jumping is a static place, not really. And precisely I consider the static moment all the contrary, when the music is not there and you realize of that moment that you lived and just in shavasana, and maybe you're in the sound healing moment, that can be an static moment too. So I'm not only considering the static moment like the euphoria moment where you're jumping and sweating and dancing like really with your tribe. It can be both, but for me, it's like trying to make a huge difference between the loudest track and the more rhythmic and the silence. I think that silence is really important in an static dance.
Can you share a little bit about the three different layers of emotion that you're feeling in an ecstatic dance while you're holding it? You're the DJ, so the music is one thing, the people, the emotions of the people, and you're feeling, and it combines the different layers.
Yes, for me, it's quite intense too. I sweat a lot and I live 3 times. I feel the energy of the music. I'm feeling myself and I'm feeling people at the same time. So I feel that it's 3 times feeling. And in my body, there's a big release and a big healing at the same time. And I told you this like at 3 times because of it's like feeling the collective and feeling the energy and like feeling the anticipation of because I know what I want to bring to them, feeling myself with that excitement. It's a beautiful journey even for me just playing. I think I receive a lot when I'm DJing.
Please tell me a little bit about your experience as a Latin American in Turkey and the Turkish community, the conscious community. How do you feel Turkey as energetically, like you were mentioning
Yes.
before?
Turkey is a really warm place that definitely invites you to stay. People are so beautiful, so warm. They are so inviting. Um, I just love everyone that I've met here in Turkey. It's this frequency of Anatolia is like the mother energy, so inviting. I mean, the food is so delicious, and people are opening the doors of their houses all the time. I just found a home here in Turkey, and I just love it. There's so many reasons, and specifically being a Latin person, I think we share some characteristics. Maybe it's a connection from the heart that make us, and specifically for me, this is important that I feel that Turkey has a really deep knowledge and a deep ancestry. Like there's so much history in this country, similar to Mexico, where we have lots to discover. So that is really important for me to experience all this. I travel a lot and I go to so many places. It's endless meeting with Turkey. So yeah, that's what I love from Turkey, and there are so many reasons more. Yeah.
Can we talk a little bit about Memoria Estelar? Why is it so significant, and what is the underlying concept behind it? And
There are so many elements. Music has been a big journey for me. It's my personal journey of unblocking myself, of bringing my full potential. Ah, it's deep work in my studio every day. So Memoria Estelar is this track that I will release on October 24. What is happening with this track? First of all, I'm loving a friend of mine from Argentina. She's a poet, and I got so inspired from this poetry that I listened to the music immediately. And more than just composing a song and recording an acoustic version, I produce the track and I'm combining precisely. You can listen the ney flute here in Turkey. It's a traditional instrument in Turkey. You can listen in this track the combination of my Latin roots with the ney that is classical from Turkey. And it's a really emotional track. It's a track for releasing, for floating. It's water energy, like you can release just by flowing. It's inviting you to that, and it's a reminder that it's not only about happiness. Being emotional, feeling your emotions, is feeling those uncomfortable emotions too, or we perceive like uncomfortable sometimes. At the same time, it's like a new stage in my life. Every song is a new stage, and I'm just loving what is coming. Like in Memories are just the beginning. I choose these tracks to be the first one, but I have so much music coming. Living in Turkey is helping me to connect deeper with my roots, with my Mayan roots. That's the beautiful part of living here in Turkey and being in a country that is so rich in history, in traditions, as Mexico. So Memoria Stellar is reflecting that precisely, all this richness and combining both of them.
Can you talk a little bit about the fire element in your music? The more vibrant and it's like more tribal, more energetic, more climactic, and how is it relevant in this openness of the people that is, embodying this movement and the fire element maybe?
Totally, totally. Is for me, it's feeling the chi energy. We are vital energy, and sometimes we just don't connect with this tribal feeling of being in the floor and feeling that primal energy. And it's when we feel alive. And after dancing a tribal track, we just feel that we are alive, that we belong to all, that we are part of nature, that we can be wild. So I love to bring these rhythms. There's always involved African instruments too, and didgeridoos, and I love that even for myself. It's kind of part of my identity. When I bring these tracks to the dance floor, I can see how people's body reacts, and the healing starts from there. Like we really know in terms of frequency, how we can just manipulate with frequency to connect from the lower chakras and bring all that energy up during an ecstatic dance. So it's important to be conscious and have knowledge on how these rhythms, where do they belong in a dance, and where do they belong in the body.
Why, after being such a successful film score producer and music producer, did you decide to go in the path of ecstatic dance and producing this kind of music specifically? Why is it important, and why is it important to share it?
Yeah. First of all, it's not about a career for me. I just felt that I was preparing myself for so much time. Um, and the pain was my inner artist was really sad. And yeah, my feminine crying, like, I'm here, I want to be seen. And I was just working for money, basically producing other artists for record labels and stuff, and I enjoy it and I learned. That's the important part. But there's a big but, and my art was stuck. So I needed to unblock myself. So for unblocking myself, I just decided to leave that world, the world of the service for the money, the business part of being a producer, and going and having contact with myself and what is alive, what is coming, what wants to be said in terms of music. And I just challenge myself to be imperfect, and I started making music and put this music out. And the results have been amazing. Like I was telling you, the first track, 47,000 views, just releasing it on YouTube, Moon Goddess. It's just been an amazing journey that there's no comparison like with work like that.
Why did you choose ecstatic dance, and why do you think it's important to for people to get to know this kind of healing and practice, and how do you feel it has changed your life?
Yeah, I feel that service, being in service of the collective, is one of the most beautiful things we can do. It's really fulfilling. And as a musician or as an artist, more than musician, just as an artist, because I don't like to be called a DJ. I don't like to be called a music producer. I don't like to be called a husband. I don't like to be called a friend. I don't really like definitions like that. We are much more than that. So what I'm saying here is that I came to this path because of my own flow. So of course, when all this music comes, I just found some people who told me, "Wow, I love your music. I would like to dance to this music," and they encouraged me. So this was really beautiful, and I'm really thankful for these people. And now, with this courage to be seen, it's just beautiful to create a container. You become a container with your music. And I mean, it's a beautiful opportunity when your music is appreciated, felt, danced. There's, I think, no better feel for a musician, let's call it in this way, when your music is just enjoyed, danced, and sweat. It's just an amazing feeling. There are no more words for that. There's so much healing just by allowing you to be used by the universe. Like, okay, I'm here, I have this for you, let's move and let's heal. And amazing things happen with that. Yeah.
Anything else you want to share that is important for people to know? Maybe people who don't know anything about this practice, this midify, that is a bunch of hippies dancing, and how come you don't need drugs for this? Like,
Yeah.
what is this?
Yeah.
Like, where is this going? Where do you see this going? This movement going?
For me, static dance is a path of the fullest potential as a human being. As a human being, not as a musician only. So I encourage people to ask themselves where do they want to go, where do they see themselves, and just embrace their full potential. Not being afraid of their shadow part, not being afraid of what others will say about you, just putting your art out, whatever it is, can be poetry, it can be music, and dare to live your full potential. It's so beautiful to see people shining and just enjoying life, however it sounds in terms of music, however it looks like, wherever it is, and just sharing your love with the closest ones. And yeah, and it can be felt. Yeah, putting lots of love in whatever you do. It's like turning back to your essence that is love. And yeah. And there's no way of creating an static dance without love, you know? There's so much love. I was saying to the organizers that the last playlist I spent maybe 1 month and a half preparing every day for at least 3-4 hours. There's lots of love on creation. So, oh, look at this.
Thank you, Nelson, so much. You're such a talented and beautiful soul. Like, honestly, the love that you put behind it, you can share with the energy yesterday, and I can see it.
Yeah, it was so cool. It was so cool. I was sweating so much. Oh my god! And yeah, when I finished, I couldn't sing. I told you. Yeah, my ears were gone. Like, and I had to wait. It's beautiful. That's why it's important to come to silence. Yeah, and it was all my body like, yeah, you're in ecstasy now. Just sit and contemplate that. Yeah.
How would you define the energy yesterday?
Totally fire element with some water moments, definitely. I love to bring water in the beginning so people feel much more. I don't always bring the element of earth, but I like to ground at the same time at the end sometimes. But yesterday is just my inner child, just bringing and enjoying with my friends and kind of not overthinking, just feeling it. It's something really important because for people who wants to jump into DJing or making music or whatever you want to do in life that is art, overthinking is the worst thing that you can do. When I'm preparing and when I'm playing, I'm not thinking, I'm just feeling it. And if I don't want to keep playing that track, I just jump to the next one, and I'm not thinking about anything else. I'm feeling that's why the importance of dancing to my own music. That's why I can go so crazy dancing while I'm playing. It's the same when I'm in my studio and I finish a track. I always dance to my music. If I don't dance, something is happening. It's like, I'm not convinced. Maybe I was faking something. When I finish a track and I feel like, yes, I did it, and I start dancing or whatever, I say, yeah, I'm connected to the music. I fulfill my purpose.
How did the static dance change your life? Last question.
Hmm. How static dance changed my life
Not only as a producer music, but also a practitioner.
as a practitioner?
Yeah.
First of all, movement is being my medicine. So I came to static dance by being a dancer first, and then it took me to my own practices with movements. So when I jumped to DJing, I discovered that the most beautiful gift that we can bring to the world is those ones that some people consider that is not something important. For example, for DJing, I don't need to DJ my own music. It can be others, producers' music, serving an intention, a clear intention. So it helps to break your ego. I broke my ego. I mean, I went to University of Music and I can compose, produce, I can direct orchestra, I can write for an orchestra. And I had a really big ego, like, no, I'm not a DJ. So I broke my ego. That's the most important part to say. And not being afraid of speaking my these shadow parts. And yeah, I didn't want to be a DJ. So when I discovered the joy of people just by listening the collection of music that I love, and they connected with that music, it was a beautiful gift. Maybe the most beautiful gift in my life, where I'm seen and I see other people, because precisely when I'm DJing, I'm playing. I mean, DJing is not the only thing I do concerts too. But how your presence and the connection is so important. You cannot just be playing there and okay, you're dancing. No, like the connection, and you are making eye contact, and then you start dancing with someone like, yes, we are together in this journey. There's, oh my God, this experience is like no other, definitely.
What about this one?
And this was the energy precisely of yesterday. I mean, the stone of the day. Yeah, this is a gift from Simai's mother. This came from Egypt.
The blue ring.
This is moonstone. Yeah, and there's a triangle here in the bottom representing humanity. Yeah, it's so beautiful. And this is David's pentagram. How to say that? Yeah. The pentacle, the star. Yeah, so sacred. This is the representation of humanity. You can see all the zodiac signs here. And why the eye precisely? There's a legend here that you cannot really read now really well, but it says, open your eyes, free your mind. I think that this is the next stage of humanity, like really open the eyes and breaking lots of illusions. Yeah. And here I have my Nawal. This is Kawok. Yeah, I'm Kawok in Mayan cosmology. And my spirit animal is turtle. Yeah.